Coming up on BYU football with Kalani Sitake. The Cougars struggle on senior day. Kalani joins me to talk about that and a rivalry renewal with the Rainbow Warriors. Plus, defensive lineman Handsome Tanielu and Kez Retzlaff join us here. It's our season send-off in Studio C, where BYU football with Kalani Sitake starts now.
Satake wants no part of the sideline. Look, he'll spin and come back in just to try and run somebody over.
Open is Satake, wide open.
Watch Kalani Sitake. What a nice job on Gerard Newby.
BYU wins it for the Lavelle Edwards.
Kalani Sitake as the new football coach at BYU.
It's great to be back home.
The kick is on its way. It is good! It is good! Hit! The Cougars have it!
I'm very lucky to be coaching these young men.
Oh, man, what a sack! Sione Taki. Joe, timing pattern, end zone, it is! Caught by Bushman! Touchdown Cougars!
This is BYU football with Kalani Sitake, presented by Ken Garf Aura, with your host, the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Good evening once again, Cougar Nation, and for the final time this season, welcome into BYU football with Kalani Sitake. Really appreciate the fans who have showed up every week in our studio audience here. Yes, a bit of a rough year on the field, but I know the coach and players grateful for the weekly support as we are here at the show as well. Well, next week, we're talking Cougar Hoops on the debut of BYU basketball with Dave Rose. We'll be right back here in Studio C with a live audience once again, so get your free seats for next week's season debut at BYUCougars.com/Rose Show. We invite you to join tonight's conversation on Twitter using hashtag Satake Show. Later in the show, we're asking your questions for Kalani and our player guests. For a chance to get yours on the air, send them in with that Satake Show hashtag. Well, 14 weeks ago, he walked out of our studio side doors for the first time. Tonight, we're doing it for the last time this season. Please welcome back the head coach of the Cougars, Kalani Sitake.
Last show.
Last show.
Yeah, I know. I'm sad. Sad I don't get to see the fans every week like this, but I have to go to basketball games and everything to see them. But
It's has it gone quickly or slowly for you this season?
both. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been great, you know, but especially because of the record. But I mean, looking at the time that we get to spend with our players and the things that we're trying to build here, you know, proud of our guys and proud of the players that believe in what we're doing and the system that we're trying to implement here. And so, but the thing that's been consistent is the fan support, and that's been there the entire time. But that's been there since I was born. You know, I remember being a kid and being part of the fan base, and that's what makes BYU special. I keep saying that over and over again, but it's something that I'm very thankful for.
Hope you've enjoyed our weekly visits here in Studio C.
I have, yeah. Although it was really nice to take a break with Spencer last week. And no, nothing personal, but and it's nice. You know, we got to see you with Ron Burgundy and everything, and Halloween. We had some fun. You know, we were able to do the trunk or treat and connect with a lot of fans. I think you know, off the air, I really enjoyed the conversations that I've had with the fans here, and in between the breaks, and then afterwards when I get to mingle with them and talk. And it's been something that I really cherish and something that's been helped me a lot, especially get through this year, you know. So I appreciate all the fans, and especially the ones that are here in attendance. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, give yourself a hand. Yeah. A special guest way up high in the corner. Do you see him?
Harvey, what's up, bro? I almost didn't recognize you with all that hair. He wouldn't be able to take a test right now in the testing center. I'm proud of Harvey. I saw him over the weekend, and it's nice to see him and his wife. But Harvey and I go way back. I was the first to offer you in what, 6th grade, Harvey? Something like that, yeah. But looking forward to seeing Harvey recover and get back to the NFL where he belongs, and glad that he feels comfortable to always come back home and be with us. And our players are really excited to see him there too. So, off out the roll.
Harvey Longy, great to see you. Thanks for coming in today. Beautiful. All right. And of course, you mentioned that we wish him and his wife the best as they recover from that accident that was bad and could have been a lot worse. We're just grateful they're you know, still where they are in a position to be here and be supporting. Yeah.
Of course, you know, and then just counting blessings and I think that that video that went viral just brought a tear to everyone's eyes when you watch it. And
they got back together in the hospital?
It took a while to Harvey to get there, but he walked, as slowly as he could. But it just shows how much they love each other, and it shows a lot of the. I'm not worried about Harvey when he left. It just shows how much dedication he has to his family. If you know him and you know his family, where he comes from, and he's got great parents and great siblings that have helped him along the way, and he's in the South Jordan Bingham area, and that's something that he's really proud of, and so he represents them well, and I'm glad he can do it in New England.
And we're proud of him. All right, let's talk a little football.
Let's do it.
You guys came off that win at UNLV, feeling pretty good, hoping to get back-to-back wins. And this past weekend, senior day against UMass, didn't turn out the way you wanted for the home finale.
Yeah, definitely not the way we wanted it. And this is a big play that we gave up in coverage. And I think that was one of the only really big plays that Diane feels bad about it. And defensively, I thought we did good enough to win, 16 points, and considering the 4 turnovers, I thought that they did a good job at limiting, Mississippi State gave up 23 against them, and so the fact that we were able to do it even on short fields, I was proud of the way the defense played. And offensively, just did not do enough to win the game, and obviously the 4 turnovers hurt, and especially when it's kind of, obviously the total yards were the same, so the biggest discrepancy there is in the turnover part, and just not good enough, and just really unfortunate that it ended that way, especially on senior day.
We'll talk about seniors in a second. Defensively, you guys just racked up a ton of turnovers last year. Takeaways have been tougher to find this year for you guys.
Yeah, I think that calling a defense is really difficult, and especially when you don't have a lot of points to defend. I think it creates a little bit of hesitation to take risks and take chances when points are slim. And so, whether it's an inept offense or defense, it affects the whole team. And so, when guys are we're scoring low points, or whether it's 10 or 13 or some other game that's slower, it makes it harder to create turnovers and take risks and take chances. And so, you become a little bit conservative even when you're trying to be aggressive. And the mindset, we're trying to get our guys to be more aggressive, but at what risk? You got to keep it under control so that you have a chance to win and keep the game close.
You bring up the seniors. It was your senior day as a coach for these guys, but you had this situation as a player too at BYU. You remember your senior day pretty well, and you told me in the pregame interview Saturday you ended your senior year without a bowl game to look forward to, so it was a matter of finishing it out strong as you ended your senior season. Yeah,
and I remember going into that, we were 4-6, and back then you had to win 7 games to go to a bowl game, and it was Lavelle's last year, and it's definitely not the way that he wanted to go out, that we wanted to send him out. And being, one of his captains, I took it hard, that we were doing very well that year. But we had, we had an opportunity to win the last 2 games. We beat New Mexico, and then we went and had that last miracle for Lavelle, up there. So a lot can be accomplished in this last game, and the focus is trying to get this game, get a W this game so that it can help send our seniors out the right way and also set the tone for next year and what we're trying to accomplish as a team for next season.
He's one of a couple of seniors we're going to have on our show tonight as we talk about Handsome Tanielu. There you see Tijon Karoma. Tijon Karoma, one of your seniors going away, and we've talked about how important he's been for you for 4 straight years as a program. You've had him for a couple of years, of course, but a lot of snaps for Tijon over those years.
Yeah, we thought that he might be the Iron Man of BYU football, where he probably, if you counted reps, he probably has played the most reps out of any BYU Cougar, and so it's nice that to be involved with him and see him play, and he has 1 more to go, and so it'll be 51 starts that Tijon has been a part of, and but he will tell you he doesn't like a lot of the attention, but we have a lot of seniors that have contributed to a lot of football and a lot of wins here at BYU, and I think they just deserve to go out on a win. And all the focus being Thanksgiving week is to be thankful where we're at, but also to try to win. That's the focus, and find ways to improve afterwards.
Now, a guy just starting his career, not ending it, is the freshman quarterback Joe Critchlow. Got a win in his first start. Came back to earth a little bit in his second start against UMass. What did he show you Saturday, both of things that he'll obviously need to work on and things that still show you that he's a good guy to go to right now?
Well, I think towards the end he was making some plays, but obviously the 4 interception is something that we don't want, and we had some missed opportunities to make some plays, but the inaccuracy, and we probably, looking at his numbers of throws, I mean, we probably threw the ball way too much. I think we were behind a little bit and trying to play catch up, but probably did ask too much from him to begin with.
So you could have run a bit more then?
Yeah, I mean, Squally was just coming off of a great week, and we had a good running back core. So, in the O-line, we're really physical up front. We just, I think we need to lean heavily on the run game, and that didn't happen. And then we got a little bit behind and had to play catch up. And it's just not a good position to be, especially for a young quarterback to lean on his arm to bring us back. Probably should have leaned heavily more on the running game. So
a case of maybe asking him to do a little too much in the second start?
Yeah, I think that's hard to do for any quarterback, let alone a guy that's in his second start. So I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but he made some bad decisions and 4 picks. That's not how we play football here, and that's not how you're going to help your team win. So he needs to learn, but just like to learn lessons without losing games.
Squally's been a bright spot for you guys late in the season. He was joined by KJ this past week. He had to leave the game, dinged late. But Squally has had 1, 2, 3, I think, really strong games.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't have a lot of carries in the second half, and that needed to change, And, like I said, playing catch up or whatever reason, but we can run the ball too. So I thought KJ, he came in, gave us a spark, but also he's been hampered with injuries, and that's been something that's been a hard season for him all year long, just finding ways to get back and to get healthy. And so I appreciate KJ and all his hard work, but he just needs to get healthy, and we just need to rely more on our run game.
And you hope that all the guys you bring back in this backfield, and there you see how the last 2 games went, just straight number of carries, about half the number from Las Vegas a week ago to the game against UMass. So the run game was effective at UNLV and not required as much, at least numbers-wise, at UMass by those numbers. But the yards per carry numbers affected there by the 7 sacks. You lost a bunch of yards on sacks.
Yeah, I was about to mention that the 7 sacks we lost 50 yards or so in sacks, and that's not good either. So we haven't done that all year long, and it was supposed to be, the roles are reversed. We're supposed to sack them that many times, and it's really disappointing. I really don't know much else to say.
Yeah, you said the defense played well enough to probably win it. UMass's numbers, they were all below average on the day, and so to that extent, the defense I think did most of its job.
Yeah, I mean we had a couple sacks here and there, but we had some forced fumbles and just we weren't able to capitalize on them. But we had obviously it wasn't perfect. We made some mistakes and we gave up some easy throws, but the bottom line is 16 points, and given some of the short fields, I thought they rallied up and were able to force field goals and not really, and they played pretty good red zone defense, So, I would have taken 16 points before the game if you had told me that was the case.
Looked like Kyrus tried to give it a go Saturday for you, Tonga.
Yeah, and we didn't want to risk his more injury. He's only a freshman, so he has a lot of football ahead of him, and hopefully he recovers and heals better this week. We'll see, but I'm not going to risk his future just because of a football game. And if you ask him, he'll do it, but I think that's inappropriate for me to ask him to give up, his body for this, and especially when we know that he's not 100%.
Okay, that next game will come up at Hawaii, and we'll talk about that in our next segment. Heading to our first break, and as we do, we want you to know that you can, again, enjoy a full hot breakfast buffet, dinner Monday through Wednesday, a kitchen, and a large grassy backyard along the Provo River Trail, all at the Residence Inn Marriott in Provo. When we come back, a look ahead to the Cougars' season finale in Honolulu. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is presented by Ken Garff Volkswagen of Orem, a proud supporter of BYU and the Cougar community. We hear Cougs.
We are back on BYU Football with Kalani Sitake season finale before BYU basketball with Dave Rose debuts next Tuesday. Well, this week, the Cougars' 2017 season comes to a close at Hawaii. 30th meeting in a series. BYU leads 21-8. First meeting since 2012. First game in Honolulu since 2011. Kalani, your first ever game as a Cougar, as a true freshman in 1994, was at Aloha Stadium.
It was, yeah. So it's going to be fun. I grew up from Hawaii, and so it was cool to. I remember being a kid and going to Aloha Stadium and cheering for BYU against the Rainbow Warriors back then, and then it was a dream come true to play at BYU and then to have my first game be in Aloha Stadium. So be a little bit, it'll be fun to go back and see everybody. I think the stadium hasn't done anything as far as renovations the same, but there's a good swap meet there that I won't be able to participate this year.
Saturday mornings
on this trip, but it's a lot of fun, and we'll. But the goal is to try to win the game and spend time with our seniors and our family one more time as a football team.
Now, you officially have two hometowns, Provo and Laie, right?
Yeah. So, I claim both. I think people from both sides get mad if I only claim one. So that's we have roots in both places, but we came. For a lot of Polynesians, coming through Hawaii is where you first. It's like the entryway to the United States, and that's through a lot of it's through BYU Hawaii and through Laie, and so we call that home, and I think you can trace a lot of the Polynesians that are here in the mainland to Laie, Hawaii, that small community.
How much time did you actually live there growing up?
On and off a lot, and then unofficially whenever we can go back, and so we've always had family there. We've been. I grew up and went to Rainbow School over there and lived in TVA, the Temple View Apartments, and went to Laie Elementary School. And so, but my high school years were spent in St. Louis, Missouri, and at Timpview High here in Provo, and my middle school years were here in Provo. So I but anyone that knows anybody knows you have family back and forth, and so I'm not the only one that claims both cities. There's a lot of people that do that, and there's a lot of Laie, Hawaii presence here in Provo and in Utah Valley.
Okay, what's the team schedule for the week going over there?
So we're leaving here on Wednesday and arriving Wednesday night, and then we'll spend some time there Wednesday night. I think we get there around 7 p.m. or so, and eat dinner, of course, and then get ready to go to bed and have practice in the morning at Farrington High School. And so we'll have practice Thursday morning, a regular Thursday practice, and then we'll have some time off, and then we'll have meetings and a lot of things in between. And then Friday will be a normal Friday that we'll do out there as well, and we'll give them a few hours in between to have some time, some downtime, and some free time. There's a lot of family members, and when they saw the schedule, had already bought tickets and flew out there, and so a lot of our players will have family members out there for the Thanksgiving holiday, So, and then there's a lot of people that have family members in Hawaii already. So, we're expecting a lot of fans to be there. It's just like it's been everywhere that we played, and a great fan support. And so whether we're here in Provo or out of state, we feel the love everywhere we go.
Will you get a walk through the stadium on Friday?
Yeah, so we'll do all, we'll do all, try to do as much as we can, like a normal home game.
A typical day before.
Yeah. The only difference is that we're going out there a little earlier, and one being Thanksgiving, didn't want to travel on Thanksgiving Day, rather get there the night before, and then also have that practice on Thursday morning. So a lot of people will be playing football Thursday morning. We will be no different. We'll just be practicing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, this year's a Rainbow Warrior team, 3-8. They just got shut out up at Utah State in Logan. They've lost 4 in a row, but they'll be up for you guys. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, and that's a game that has a lot of history, and so it's their senior day, so they're gonna want to send their seniors out the right way, and they're going through some a hard time as well this season, same as us, and we have a lot in common. The only difference is that we from BYU and they're from Hawaii, but we all want to win. So it'll be a battle. We're expecting their best, and then hopefully we can give them ours.
Now they have a running back named Diosemy St. Just. Mm-hmm. He's a player, almost 1,500 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns on the season, 7 of them on the ground. Compared to the guys you've seen this year, you've seen some good backs. Where's this fellow?
A lot of speed. He gets out in open space, and it's hard to track him down. And so you look at his carries to his yards. That's, you know, he's probably close to 7 yards a carry, and so they'll feed him the ball, and then he has the speed and the quickness to break a big one. So he's done that over and over all year, and we just need to make sure to try to corral him in. I thought Utah State did a good job of taking care of him, but he still got over 100 yards in that game, you know. So he's got a lot of speed and a lot of agility.
A couple more playmakers to talk about with these guys. The quarterback is a junior, Drew Brown, 60% passer, has twice as many touchdowns as picks. There's a wide receiver that leads their team in receptions by the name of Dylan Colley. Austin's little brother, was a Cougar at one time. He's now a Rainbow Warrior. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, he reminds me of his brother Zach. Not as big as Austin, but you know, I played with his brother Zach, and he's got tons of receptions, as you can see. So he runs really good routes and catches the ball, and he's just like the Collies. They all have good hands, and they're born to be wide receivers. And the linebacker there, Kalani Sitake, is leading tackler, really productive playmaker on defense. All right, coming up in our next couple of segments, we'll have two players on this final edition of the show. Two interior linemen, Handsome Tanielu, Kez Retzlaff are both coming in. Yeah, the D-line, I mean, they never get attention. And so I think in this show we've been able to take care of the O-linemen, and now the D-linemen feel like they need their love too, so we'll give it to them on this last show. All right, we'll get Handsome and Kez coming on up. Folks, at Ken Garff Volkswagen of Orem, they're excited to announce a new dealership opening its doors this month. Visit the new showroom on University Parkway. Ken Garff, we hear Cougs. After the break, nose tackle Handsome Tanielu joining us here in Studio C. Handsome will be taking your questions as well. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, with your host, Greg Wrubell.
Yes, indeed. Back inside Studio C. Use hashtag Satake Show for a chance to see your question asked of a player or coach during the Q&A portions of tonight's show. Time now for our first of two player guest segments on the Satake Show tonight. It's presented by Bam Bam's Barbecue, authentic to the bone. BYU's trip to Hawaii will be a homecoming for our first guest, a mainstay on the Cougars' defensive front from Waianae on the island of Oahu. Please welcome in Handsome Tanielu.
Oh, how you doing? Good to see you.
Handsome, good to see you again.
Oh, what's up?
How are you doing? All right.
Good, good. Okay, Kyrie sat on this chair so it will hold me. Yeah.
I don't think it'll hold Mo, but it'll hold you.
Yeah.
Yeah, help Kyrus.
I think Kyrus was our toughest. Actually, no, we did the Halloween show over at the stadium. Used the same chairs, and Mo got on it.
He did?
Yeah.
These chairs are good then.
It's Mo tested, yeah.
All right.
So I say Y&I.
Yeah.
What's the right way to say it?
Oh, it's Y&I.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy on the scene on the stadium the other day kind of messed up. He's like Y&A or something like that. No, yeah.
We want to be authentic. So tell us where your hometown is located relative to, say, Honolulu.
So it's on the west coast of Oahu. Honolulu is probably 40 minutes away. So there's just one highway, one way in, one way out. So that's why people are always scared to go there sometimes, because the way they go in is the only way. So
one way.
Yeah. So playing us in football over there in high school, that was interesting. So.
You know what he's talking about, Kalani?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Kahuku and Y&I have a nice little rivalry too in football. So it's been like that since I was a baby. So
yeah.
But we get along here at BYU.
Yeah.
Did you grow up a BYU fan or a UH fan?
First UH. My family, I have a lot of family members that played there, like that June Jones period when.
Look at little Handsome.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh shoot! Yeah, the long hair was there. Yep. Yeah, and that's my sisters and all of them. But yeah, we a couple of my family members played for UH, and then my dream was to play for UH like them. And then my mom was always a BYU fan, even throughout the whole time. She was like, "Yeah, you'll go to BYU." I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna go to BYU." And then, look at me. So
when did it turn for you?
Probably when Coach Satake became the coach, to be honest. I was going through the whole recruiting process, and then actually, I gotta tell you something first. Back when I was in high school, Coach Satake probably don't remember this, but he was at Utah, and I was at a track meet, and he was there just supporting some of the other guys that young kids that were probably signed with him. But he actually pulled me aside because I was just walking around back and forth, and I remember seeing him, and he goes, "Man, I was trying to talk to you, and you're over here checking out all the girls walking back and forth." And I didn't want to ruin your game. I was like, "Hey." yeah. But that's where the relationship pretty much started. And then after my mission, I went to Snow, and then Coach was recruiting me, and then came here, and I just thought it would be a really good decision to come here.
What are your recollections of first meeting Handsome?
Well, I don't remember the track meet, but I talked to a lot of kids just bumping into them. It's all legal recruiting, you know. So I was probably trying to give them tips on how to talk to the girls. I don't know, but no. But I think you know, when I'm always going to talk to kids as much as I can, and not a lot of it's about football. And I had great mentors and great people that growing up that could help influence me when I was young, and so. My connection with even that community in Y&I is good people, you know, and so whenever you see kids, you never know what they're going to be. You know, you see those pictures, you never thought that Handsome would grow up to be this big, you know, and this handsome too. So, but you know, we actually in the recruiting, he's a highly recruited young man, and you know, served a mission, and as we recruited Coach Tuyaki and. He looked at, you know, Handsome looked into what BYU was about, and it fit perfectly with what his lifestyle is about anyway. So, and they got to play football here. You know, he had some injuries along the way, but he's a tough kid, and I'm just honored to be his coach, and honored that he could play here at BYU and feel a lot of what I had when I played. You know, and he's been 100% good from the very beginning. And bought in, and so I appreciate him and setting a good example for the young guys because they'll benefit from his example.
You've had to tell the story a lot. Do you ever get tired of having to explain your first name?
No, I mean, no, not really. No.
Because you are so handsome. It's just natural for you, right?
It really just makes me feel awkward, but no. Yeah.
What was the thought behind it, do you think?
Honestly, it's my mom. She just loved me. That was it. Yeah. I could have been ugly, and she would. Maybe I am, but I don't know. She still would have named me the same thing. So, yeah.
You went on a mission to North Carolina.
Yeah.
You have some MMA in your background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us. Would you speak a little bit more about that? How that came about?
Before I didn't play football until I was a freshman. So before that, my dad was in the Marine Corps, and really thought. I have 4 sisters, so he was like, you really gotta, watch out for them. So from day one, it was always like, gotta teach me how to defend myself. And so it was like, yeah, I can tell you that all of the trouble that I've ever gotten into was because my sisters were there and I had to do something about it. Yeah, it was never like me
picking a fight.
Yeah, or like someone didn't like me. It was more like, I gotta do that for my sister. But that's just the poly way, honestly. You either get handed in life, or your dad will give it to you, or my mom too. But yeah.
Where in Carolina did you serve?
I served in Charlotte. It's on the kind of like in the middle of the state. But yeah, I can barely fit in those pants. But yeah, that was a really good time. I don't know how I pulled that off, honestly, but it was a good time. I went from literally where I'm from in Hawaii, it's nothing like North Carolina. So when I went there, everyone was like, before I got there, was saying, oh, it's the most beautiful place, green everywhere. I went in December. I got there, it was like really cold. And
brown everywhere?
Brown. It was ugly. I was like, man, this is the ugliest place I've ever been. So I was like, all the people lied to me. And then like 3 months later, got really pretty, and all the green started to come back. Fell in love with the place, and then kind of got better with my English, lost my pidgin accent, and then, yeah.
You want to live in a green place, you want to live where you live, back in Hawaii.
Actually, where I'm from is really dry. The Laie side is more green, but it's pretty dry, but it can be.
You did say West Coast, yeah. Yeah, it's different over there.
Yeah, the leeward side's pretty brown, honestly, but it's beautiful. We got the best beaches. I'll tell you that. Yep. Yep.
No argument there. Snow College, life at Snow. How was that like?
Oh, it was difficult, to be honest, but it was a learning experience for me. I learned a lot, and technique-wise, I learned everything here, but just hard work. Honestly, it was a grind from the beginning. Right when I got on for my mish, that's where I went, and coaches told me like, hey, they laid it out for me and pretty much said this is what I needed to do if I wanted to end up here, and that's what I did. And I just every day just kind of did what I needed to do. You're
happy you came here, and you're happy he came here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You were number 94 in the video, in the pictures we saw there. 94 was taken by Kesney, I think, when you got here, right?
Yeah.
Would you have kept 94 if you'd had your choice?
Yes. So honestly, Kesney really messed me up. When I got here, he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna wear it," and then I even was like, "I'll do anything, $100 or something," And we were talking about this during warm-ups. Sorry, Justin, but we were like talking about it, and then came season time, he was like, sorry, I'm going to keep it. My wife made a jersey for me. So I was like, all right, I'll just go to 92 then. So, but I actually like it a little more than 94. So
you played well in it. And Kesney's one of your boys on the D-line. You guys have obviously come close together as a group, and you've been a productive group as playmakers. What will you leave with relative to thoughts of those guys when you leave BYU as how you came together as a D-line? With Coach Tuiaki as your coach, too.
I feel like Coach Satake as a coach was probably one of the best things that happened to me. I'm just so frustrated with myself just because I only now starting to catch on to all those good things that he's been teaching. And I just, expressing to all the younger kids, all our new freshmen, there's a lot of kids that BYU hasn't even seen yet that are in the mix within the weight room and within our locker room that are going to explode next year. And I'm just telling them that they need to just catch on to this technique and be bought in, like Coach says. It's really hard to, play your own game sometimes. You have to really play according to their technique, and you can't go wrong. So.
All right, let's have one of our audience members ask you a question now, if that's okay with you. Yeah. Let's go to our studio microphone with Echo Peterson. Hey, Echo, good to see you again.
Hey, so my question is for Handsome. So what's the best reaction you've gotten to your name?
Oh, shoot. So when I was at this all-star game in high school, I just saw this girl. I thought she was pretty. I was like, "Hi, my name's Handsome." She looked at me and just walked away. yeah. She thought I was bragging, but so it's funny. The next day when the game happened, they were announcing all the kids like one by one, and then on the jumbotron it's like, "Oh, Handsome Tanielu," and then she was like, I looked at her and she was laughing, but yeah. So
Echo, thanks for that. You can stick here through the break. We're going to bring up Kez Retzlaff in our next. He'll take your spot there in our next segment. Right. The other 94, I guess we'll say. All right, coming up when we come back, it is Handsome's fellow lineman Kez Retzlaff. This is BYU football with Kalani Sitake.
BYU football with Kalani Sitake is brought to you in part by Bam Bam's Barbecue, authentic to the bone.
Weekly staple of our show, Cougars in the NFL. The Chiefs lost to the Giants, but Daniel Sorensen had an active day with 6 tackles and a pick and a pass breakup. Kyle Van Noy, the Patriots, rolling into Mexico City and picking up a win against the Raiders. Jamal Williams is the #1 back in Green Bay right now and did what he could in a loss to the Ravens. Bronson Kafusi did not play in that game, by the way, for Baltimore. He's out right now. Michael Davis, part of a big win over the Bills for the Los Angeles Chargers. We are back on the season finale of the Satake Show. Not one, but 2 player guests tonight and 2 interior linemen this evening. Our second big guy is a Bingham High School grad and a new dad. He's number 94, Kez Retzlaff. Bring him on in.
How's it going?
So, Coach, good to see you. Good to see you. You bet. All right, so we got the scoop on the fight between the 92 and the 94.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just checking this chair.
No, it's good. Everyone says the same thing when they sit in that thing. It'll be good. It'll be good. So when Handsome got here, you were wearing 94 and he had 94. You said it'd be okay if he had 94, and then all of a sudden it wasn't.
Well, I never said it was okay. So what I said was, I first said he'd have to ask my wife, and then I didn't think he'd dare. And then he kind of said, like, he seemed like he was down to ask my wife. So then I wanted him to pay for it. I was like, it might cost you a couple $100. But he wasn't willing to do that, so he stuck to 92. And it suits him. It's good.
It's all good. Yeah. Born and raised in Utah?
Yep, South Jordan, Utah, Bingham High School. So in Handsome, I was listening to him talk about like how Utah's all brown and stuff. I will fiercely defend Utah to the end. A lot of the guys on the team are from California, and they talk about how great California is, and I'm a Utah born and bred, and I will defend it. So anyone calls Utah ugly, I get offended personally.
It's a pretty great state.
The best.
Yeah. We may have some pictures of you playing at Bingham back in the day. You had a different hairstyle back then, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, ugly hair, way ugly. Not BYU standards at all. Not at all.
But it's a little trim now. Looking good. You went. Let's see. You say snowboarding is something you like to do.
Yep.
Would you say are there a lot of people your size snowboarding, or not a lot of people your size snowboarding when you get on the slopes?
Not a lot. So last year, between our last game and the bowl game, me and a couple of the guys went snowboarding. I don't think Coach knew about it.
Sounds like he didn't.
But we saw the head trainer up there, Steve Pincock, and he's pretty big too. So I guess there were a couple big guys on the slopes that day.
Have you always loved being on the slopes?
Oh, I love it. I love snowboarding. Brighton's my favorite resort. That's where I went growing up. And my dad is from Tonga, so like he moved to America and he saw some like white guys snowboarding, and he's like, hey, I want to try that. So he went out in his jeans and did it, and we've been doing it ever since.
Kalani, how about you? Do you get out there?
No, there's like two absolute truths in this world. One is I won't run a marathon, and I will not ski.
I'm with you on the marathon.
You have the violin and the viola in your background, true?
Yep. I grew up, I think I convinced my mom to let me do it one day, and I started out playing the violin in like second grade or something, and I grew to love it, played it through middle school, and then I switched to the viola one year, and it's a pretty similar instrument, but I don't know, I grew up and I loved that, but I haven't played since I was like a freshman in high school, so I probably suck now, but I don't know, just growing up I loved it. So I love music, and I love classical music too. Every Sunday that's my thing, you know.
Right on. Cultured guy here, Kalani.
Yeah, well-rounded. I mean, he's smart, well-spoken. You know, he sounds like a politician. He's going to support Utah and be a governor someday.
Who's your most musically talented teammate besides yourself, if you were to say that?
Ooh, definitely Heavily. Special teams guy. He's a great kid, but he's like way good at piano. I don't know like the classifications like master or whatever, but he's solid. Like
I think the highest level is actually way good. I think that's what they say.
Yeah. If you need him to play a song, he can probably play it. I know he's written a couple songs, and yeah, he's probably the best musician on the team.
Good knowledge. I mentioned you're a new dad, relatively new, right?
Yeah.
Your wife's name is Kaylin.
Yep.
And your baby's name is?
Manoa.
Manoa. How old is Manoa?
He's 4 months old.
Wow, you are very new, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been way rough. Like it's more rough for my wife, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Just like the whole like having a baby thing is tough. But man, we love him. He's like, I never like really cared about a lot of things growing up, you know, but when you look at like a baby that kind of looks like you and looks like your wife, like, I don't know, you feel something special, you know. And I haven't cried since I got home from my mission, you know, like in 4 years or whatever. But like, man, I swear I've cried like 10 times the last 4 months, just like because my baby like just gets me all worked up.
I think you're getting worked up right now a little bit.
No, I'm good. Something spicy or something.
Has he come to games?
He's come to 2 games. He came to the Utah game. That was his first game, and he was not the biggest fan of that game. He cried a lot, but he did good. It was cool to see him. This last game he came to, even though it was way cold, he did way good, and he had fun. But yeah, he got some sweet pictures to show him when he grows up.
All right, let's take a question here in studio with Pat. Pat Hammond's at our mic. Hey,
Pat.
Hi, Kesney. I just was curious, out of all the stadiums that you visited throughout your career, what's the favorite place that you've been to play?
Man, besides LaVelle Edwards?
Besides LaVelle, of course, okay. That's a given, right?
Man, I think last year playing at the Cardinal Stadium, the Phoenix, I think it's the University of Phoenix Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one in Arizona was way awesome. It's just brand new stadium and packed full of Cougars. I swear we had more fans than them that game. And it was an awesome game too. We had a close win at the end, but that stadium was amazing. Just the locker room, just everything was way cool.
Pat, thank you. Kesney, thank you. Good job. Nice segment. All right, we'll come back with more BYU football with Kalani Sitake. We at Ken Garff Nissan of Orem, improving things for our customers. To see how, visit our showroom located on the University Parkway. Ken Garff, we here at Cougs after the break. Some Q&A for Kalani. This is BYU football with Kalani Sitake.
As Ford drives it into the student end zone. Snap forward on a three-step. Loads up. Hits. Oh, man, what a sack! Sione Takitaki launching himself from the right side of Andrew Ford.
That was the exciting play of the game, presented by Nissan, a proud partner of the BYU Cougars. Innovation that excites. Back on BYU football with Kalani Sitake here in Studio C. Sione Takitaki, that's a heck of a play, and you get him for a little while longer still.
Yeah, and I think this weekend he'll have those opportunities again. They like to throw the ball, UH does, and so I think he'll have those opportunities to make those big plays. And you know, he's starting to understand a little bit more about our pass rush, and it's more about the four-man rush than just one guy making the effort to make the play. And the D-line's starting to get it, and so when one guy gets a sack, it's more like all four of them working together.
All right, some Q&A time for you, Coach, with hashtag Satake Show. We'll go to Twitter for this one. At TrueBlueForever06 is the handle. The question, Coach, how do you pronounce your full name?
I learned this in third grade because thank you to my family for naming me, but it's Kalani Felipe Fifita Sitake. So, yeah, I just go by Kalani. And then I named my son after me, and he just goes by Keke.
It gets even shorter for him.
Yeah, he's nice. We learned from my mistakes, and so when he names his son after him, he can just call him K. So we've set the table for him.
All he can do.
Yeah.
Looking for an even more convenient way to shop at Smith's? Try Smith's Click List. Order online, pick up curbside at the store. Visit smithsfoodanddrug.com/clicklist for details. More Q&A for the coach next. This is BYU football with Kalani Sitake.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is presented by Ken Garff Nissan of Orem, a proud supporter of BYU and the Cougar community. We hear Cougs.
It's our final segment of Q&A for the coach this season. We've used the hashtag Satake Show all year. We'll switch to hashtag Rose Show next week as we go to BYU basketball. Back in studio for a question at our mic, and it's the Grizz father, Russell Alley. You get the final question of the year for the coach, I think.
All right. Hey, Coach. So what's one takeaway you're going to come with this season that's either positive or encouraging going forward to next season?
It'll go back to my love for the players and appreciation for all of them. I mean, you just heard Kez talk about, you know, how it brought him to tears talking about his son. And so I get to coach those guys, you know. I get to be around young men that I'm excited to see them as fathers and husbands and contributors in the community. And so I love being a part of BYU football and being part of their lives. And the same goes for the fans. And so so one thing that I've really been thankful for being Thanksgiving week, you know, just thankful to the fans and for our players and everything that is involved with BYU.
All right, Russell, thank you. And that is our last question of the year for you. We've got a wrap-up segment coming up next, so a closing word for you will come after this, all right? All right, closing words from the coach coming up. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake on our season finale.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is presented by Ken Garff Honda of Orem, a proud supporter of BYU and the Cougar community. We hear Cougs.
Saturday in Honolulu, it's BYU and Hawaii, former conference rivals meeting in their season finale. Radio at 7 o'clock Eastern. Countdown to kickoff on TV 1 hour later. Watch the game on CBS Sports Network, and then post-game on BYU Radio and BYU TV. Welcome back inside Studio C. We're getting ready to say so long for the season. Let's take a look back at how this first year in Studio C went for us on the Satake Show. For the first time this season and for the first time on BYU TV, welcome to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake. Now to get tonight's show on the road, the head coach of the Cougars, Kalani Sitake. Now, there was a time back in the day at BYU when even our guy here, Kalani, was a mustache man.
That was
we've got a couple of cakes for people to enjoy here after the show. Oh, look at Handsome Tanielu and Molangi. They're here to celebrate with us. And, what is going on? Oh, no.
You can tell I was dressed for the occasion with my shorts, and probably they had to cut out my flip-flops, but if there's leave my poster alone.
How do you determine whether to protest a referee's call?
They all suck, so.
All right, Matt Bushman, everybody. That's Matt. All right, he's out of here. Special shout out to members of the BYU football family joining us here in the studio audience tonight.
Love you guys. I'm so proud of him. He's come a long way. Just love our team. You guys know how to make it work, so just love those guys, and they make me a better person. So I got my family here, so there's a lot of good people here, a lot of good, great super fans, and so I'm ready to roll now. Let's have a great show.
All right, well, it's been a good year.
When you guys first told me about the idea to do a show, I didn't think anyone would watch or even attend, and so I'm thankful for all the fans that truly love BYU and support us. You know, it's been a difficult season for all of us, and so I imagine fans are having a hard time, but you know, we'll improve, and we'll get this thing back where it needs to be.
All right, thanks to you, Kalani, to our entire great crew, to Cougar Nation. Thank you so much. We'll see you next season on BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.